Last night I was screaming out loud, California. Back in the house, Rich UX, richaniche.com, whole new era, ready to talk to you about remote income, how to earn a passport that lets you earn anywhere. And why would this matter? Why would this matter at all? Why would you care? Why do you need to learn how to earn anywhere? Well, I think over the last few years, it's 2023 today, October 3rd, 2023. It's 9:13 a.m. And winter in Canada, by the way. Look, the fact is the world's changing very, very, very quickly. And where you want to live is going to change. Once you obtain a skill set that you can do through the internet, the natural, logical conclusion of that would be, if I only need my laptop and the internet to earn the money I'm earning, and I've proven that myself already, I'm using PayPal or Stripe, I don't have to see anybody in person. If you've proven it, you would start examining your life in such a way that you would ask, am I getting the most benefits by doing my work in this location? Or perhaps, should I move over a state or a city or a province? Perhaps simply due to economic reasons, weather reasons, geography, mountains versus beach, the type of opportunities, the type of space between you and other people, privacy. A lot of reasons you just might shift over there. And that's an exciting thing because that means you can improve your life by choosing a career and method of earning income that is called remote capable or location independent. In my opinion, as a 39-year-old male living in Canada who's lived in over 6 different countries, who's lived in 3 different continents, I feel that having the flexibility to go where you want, when you want, is perhaps the most coveted benefit in our lives. I mean, look, everyone wants to have more money and more wealth and more generational wealth and more success. Sure. But if you could only have one thing, and if all your money came at a cost of essentially slavery, essentially working nonstop, having no freedom whatsoever, if that was the cost to have millions of dollars, I'm not sure I would choose that. I'm not sure you would choose that, especially with all the amazing experiences that are available to us today as human beings. Look, I get it. In the 70s, there was not a goddamn thing to do except go kick a ball around or, drink a beer or whatever. Cool. But now we have infinite things to do, infinite content, infinite experiences, and now we have generative experiences from the AI layer that's been placed upon society. So I just think most people are not going to be focused on earning as much as they are seeking maximum freedom and flexibility. I think that's a big shift that's going on right now. So I wanted to come on to YouTube today and talk about what I did in my life to go completely remote, what it took to get there, and then what I did like the 3, 4, 5 years after that to make it sustainable, to keep growing. I think people want to hear about this, so I'm willing to share my story from the beginning. This may take some time. Get some coffee, get settled, okay? I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna give you an authentic look into what it felt like. So in between 2014 and 2017, I was just picking up the digital marketing skill set. I had already known blogging. I was blogging in the early 2000s on WordPress. I had a lot of blogs. I loved the idea of blogging. I thought it was incredible. I was around pre-blogs when we had website builders like GeoCities, AngelFire. We had MySpace shortly after. This was an exciting time for people like me who hadn't really developed a career yet. We weren't set on anything. And suddenly the internet was showing this exciting new way to potentially earn and have a lifestyle. Have an income, a remote income. So I kept investing in blogs. And I've told this story before. I was putting internet videos on before YouTube existed. When I would put videos on the internet, they were very simple, 30, 60 seconds, and we used the Adobe Flash Player. We would do some sort of bunk streaming, buffering, need a download just to watch a video thing. And that was an exciting time. The ability to send your message around the world, to share your message around the world, that was a very exciting time. So I was definitely interested in picking up skills. Now for you, if you're like 20 today, you know all sorts of things that we didn't even have back then. Drop shipping, Shopify, e-commerce, influencers, social media, hacking, algorithms, UCG content. I mean, it just kind of goes on. And I think it's almost too distracting. So I'm going to try and maybe suggest the way you could narrow in and focus and achieve that passport. So once the skills were sort of coming into place, it was really a combination of writing little blogs and SEO, search engine optimization, because you would write the keywords into the post so you would rank on Google. And that was about getting traffic. And that was the exciting thing back then. There was no other real way to get traffic easily. You know, ad networks didn't really exist at scale. Nobody was promoting anyone else at the time. I mean, it was such an infancy. Funnels did not exist really. But, you know, certainly things were peaking out. But up until I'd say 2017, I often looked for work in my local area. I would use my network and the local businesses around me to drive revenue. And that would lead to more word of mouth from people around. So in my early digital marketing career, even when I considered myself a consultant, I was mostly meeting up with people for coffee in person. Zoom had not exploded yet. It was just started peaking out. So we really used old school stuff. I mean, Skype. I was using Skype to do my client calls. And yeah, it was fine. No one thought more of it. Right? At this time, you know, that was a really cool thing to be doing. And I think the freelance word is vague. Freelance for me meant independent work. No one sold for me. I sold my own services and I was customizable and I could work with this and that and this person. You didn't have a niche. You didn't productize your service. You helped people and you tried to get paid. There was no information at this time on payment models, business models. There was no things known about upsells, cross-sells, downsells. Sure, the highest level people in the world in business management, I'm sure, had discovered these things. But if you were coming up from ground like me with no support, no network, not a single friend who wanted to talk about these things, you didn't know where to go. You used blogs, which were minimal, and you used forums. Forums were the key. There was a couple different forums I would go to. I was a forum hound. I would much prefer to be reading a niche forum than listening in class. Almost always, there was a point in my life where I would get to class, sit down, fire up the forum, and almost have like no attention span for the class. I knew there was something else happening on the internet, and obviously it's exploded and been proven right. So I kept listening to that, right? I'm always listening back then. You're always kind of hunting for information. No one spoon feeding you. No such thing as an online course back then. No one teaching you. No streamable videos. No ebooks. No Amazon Kindle. No Audible. No podcast. No Spotify. And I almost wonder if that made it easier. I almost wonder if that reduced the noise. You know, so maybe today, if you're struggling to get going and get your momentum, you do have to sort of turn off some of those frequencies that aren't really serving you. And especially if you've got like Rich UX and Alex Hormozi and Gary Vee, like you're having such a broad spectrum of knowledge and advice, you won't know which one to apply when and where, right? Like what I'm talking to you about today is for someone who's earning between 30,000 and 100,000 a year. You're the type of person who would say, well, what does it feel like instead of earning 100K stuck here where I have to pay high taxes? What does it look like if I make 75 over there where it's sunnier and no taxes? That's the simple question, my friends. And that's why I'm striving for giving people the passport that lets you earn anywhere. What do I mean by that? It's not a real physical thing. It's a metaphor. When you have internet-based skills, remote capable skills, skills people value, and skills people pay for, you're onto something. You have the ability to fly over to Kazakhstan set up a little office, have no taxes, have a completely different lifestyle, meet different people, go on an adventure, and you could be living like a king. You could go to Uruguay and eat steak off the bone endlessly for $4. You can go to Thailand and get massages for $8. Like anything's possible, anything's out there. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be honest. If I was my same age as I was today as then, I would rank travel a little less than I used to, because if I face the same prices that you're facing today and that I'm facing today, I find it a little less interesting. And primarily I'm talking about airfare. I think flying across the country or across the world, it's getting pretty expensive. I don't know, maybe you guys don't find that. Maybe it's where I'm from, because I am quite remote. That's a big part of it. But still, you have to be a little bit more choosy if you are into the traveling game, where you're going to go and how long you're going to stay. And I haven't said this too many times for how important it is, but once I did obtain that remote capable status, I actually learned that it's not that I want to travel all the time. So don't trick yourself that I'm telling you to be a digital nomad. I'm not. I'm actually telling you to just get the freedom back so that you could go anytime you wanted to go. What I appreciate now is that I can do anything, anytime, anywhere with anyone. And I can survive with that and probably grow and even surpass my wildest dreams, because there's no cap on my income. I get to take full advantage of automation and AI in the things I do. The one-man agency, the solopreneur, is skyrocketing in interest because it's viable, and I am the living proof of that. I've been running my business by myself. I serve hundreds of customers. I've served dozens of high-level clients, all simultaneously, because it's becoming viable, because we have Notion, and we have Zapier, and we have G Suite, and Instantly, and Go High Level, and all these beautiful tools that are serving us. It's becoming more and more viable. So stay tuned with me here. I'm going to take you through this next critical phase about committing. That's the key. It's not even the skills, it's the commitment. But I was just trying to explain that, look, this isn't about becoming a digital nomad. It's about going to the best place for you now. And that could be for the next 5 years. That could be for the next lifetime. But at least you got a shot to get out if you want. And I know there's a lot of you who want to get out for all sorts of reasons. Good for you. Life needs a good story. Life requires us to face the uphill challenges, to find the depth, the purpose, and the fulfillment. And I believe choosing remote capability is a beautiful challenge to find that, because you are becoming the adventurer, the journeyer, the conqueror. You are venturing. I think this is deep for us as humans. And I haven't stopped sharing this since I discovered it. Sometime around 2018, 2017, I was running about 3 to 4 clients. I didn't have enough to go remote yet, but I wanted to. It was pretty scary. You're hunting Craigslist. I was renting at the time. I had a Chinatown apartment. I think it was 2,100 Canadian a month or something, maybe 19, I can't remember. And I was like, even if I don't earn more, maybe I can move further away and pay less, because I was getting tired of the downtown, and there was a lot of negative aspects to Vancouver's downtown at the time. I wasn't far away from all that. To be in the cool area, you have to be really close to degeneracy and all these problems. So yeah, when we decided maybe we're going to have kids in the future, that knew we were going to get away from that. And I'm sure many of you are thinking the same thing. Look, go to the city, find your opportunities, and maybe even find your mate, find a beautiful wife or husband, and then get the hell out, because you can earn. Maybe you can't meet, but you can earn remotely. That's an understanding thing. If you're single and you're looking for that relationship, marriage, and children, and ultimately the most fulfilling thing in life, I'd highly understand that. I'd recommend and encourage you to put a strong amount of time in becoming the best version of yourself so you can attract the absolute best mate for yourself and to create the mindset so that you believe you deserve the absolute excellent mate you deserve, instead of taking the first one that shows you a little bit of love, which happens to many of us at some point in our life. And I think, especially now, it's so critical to get your skills first. You know, a lot of people, they went to university and they meet their mate in university, and then they're just getting a degree into a job. That's not happening as much anymore. So what's going to happen is people are going to start relationships, go to university, and then neither of them's going to get a job, and they're going to hate each other because neither of them can make any money and take care of each other. That's what's going to happen. So those relationships aren't going to work, right? Because men are now faced with, not just men, I shouldn't say that, because people are faced with the decision of how they're going to earn for their family. You know, that's really going to be tough to make sure your partner understands what you're going through in order to achieve that. You have to make sacrifices to achieve such a great lifestyle. There are so many benefits that a sacrifice should be made, absolutely. So like I was saying, I was pondering the decision. But you know, the reason I moved wasn't to gain remote. It was to solve another problem in my life. And I'm not going to go into that. It's not related to me. But it did solve a big problem. But there I was, about to leave my town where I was working with people. What was I going to do? Was I going to say goodbye to them? Was I just going to try and make it work? And how was I going to get new clients? So by this time, I have the full stack. I can make videos, I can make audios, I can make text and images to a decent degree. 8 out of 10 at least. I'm not a 10 out of 10. You don't need to be one to be a successful marketer, maybe to be a brand designer or something like that. But 8 out of 10 is very good for most marketing skills. Was getting into funnels and studying the masters online doing funnels, really trying to understand, you know, writing down a lot of frameworks, things that I thought I was observing, trying to steal information wherever I could, but definitely had an understanding of the ad networks, how it worked. It was very basic back then. We had just feed posts. There was no such thing as stories back then. Google ads were here. That was pretty self-explanatory. Ads worked well back then because they were cheaper and no one was using them as much. So that's getting progressively harder. And that, you should know, is always the case with every marketing platform. And that's why a lot of people right now rush to AI, is because it's a new era, a new chapter, and new competition set. Less people talking about one funnel away, more people talking about how to get your first AI chatbot agent, blah, 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 working for you, right? Nonetheless, 2018, I leave Vancouver nervous, but ready to face it. And it only took me a month to get my next biggest client. And how did I get that client? I joined a community of 8 people who were ambitious, and they were talking about marketing and sales. They came from a different influencers community, and I just started joining Zoom calls with them. Ever since that, I realized Zoom calls are game-changing if you use them right. A whole new way to learn and experience other humans has arrived. Most of us are so lazy, don't even investigate what's here. The medium is the message. We're at interactive video calls now. Remember that time when the president of the United States called like that swimmer from like a video phone in 1992 or something in Atlanta, Georgia or whatever it was? Hey, congratulations on your gold medal. And we're all just like, video phone, what a stupid idea, right? Never gonna happen, right? CBDC is never gonna happen, right? Digital identity, never gonna happen, right? Yeah, that's how it goes, guys. Technology is a sure thing. History has already been written for us. Once you figure that out, you can break the simulation, culture hack. That's another level. So, got my big client, $2,200 a month US. What a game changer. Just $2,200 to me felt like the world. The world had changed. US dollars, great. That's the max, right? There's no such better currency. Great. Remote, on the internet. My client lives in America. He's on the East Coast. Perfect. Client's busy, has money, no time. Perfect. Cool. I'm going to be the right-hand man. I'm going to be the executive virtual assistant. That's what I used to think of it as, guys. I don't need to be called a marketer. I don't need to be called a CEO. I don't need a title. I need to help and receive exchange, right? So that when I want to help and give exchange, I can give and we can have a economy, a cycle, a flow of currency. That's critical to society, that we flow currency, right? What was my business model? How did I sell this guy? And I think this is what you should all be taking notes on today. This is really the secret I don't really give out very often. And this is what I teach in my lab. You need a broader set of skills, right? A lot of people try to tell you pick one niche, one skill. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Except that a lot of other people can learn that and outcompete you, right? It's tough. When you have multiple skills, the good thing for the independent earner, the remote capable earner, you don't want to be doing sales all the time. You don't want to be having to sell all the time. You want to be able to offer your full set of skills for the full client at all times within reason. You don't want to be overburdened, and they shouldn't be undervalued or under rewarded for investing in your services, right? It's got to be a balance. You might have to hustle on this first client. Speed is going to count for a lot. So what did I do for this client? Here's what the client would ask me to do. This is what it would sound like. I'm going to just read you the requests that they would make for me, okay? Hey, Rich, I'm going to do this webinar. Help me set up some emails. I'll look at them afterwards and we'll tweak them together. Rich, I think we need to improve the web page, update it for the new offer. Can you handle it? WordPress, right? Rich, the webinar is going live in 2 weeks. I think I'm going to do a Facebook ad. Help me make this video look a bit better, clean it up. Let's get an ad going. Boom. One request after another. Hey, if he wants to make multiple requests, that's fine, but let's do it one at a time, right? You're rarely trying to do the exact same time. It's always one at a time. Keep that clear, right? And look, I'll do an hour for him and then take a pause, jump on to something else. You can juggle clients one at a time as well. What else would he ask me for? Longer projects too, right? Longer projects. One time I wrote an ebook for him. Took me all month. Got paid the $2,200, one ebook, right? He didn't look at it like I need to itemize every single cost. He looked at it like, wow, I don't have to go to Upwork for every request. I don't have to hire 3 different people. I don't have to think. This guy knows marketing better than me. His templates look better than me, and he can integrate my brand. What more can I ask for? I have an executive marketing capable virtual assistant. I am a CEO, and my right-hand man makes me popular on the internet. His best YouTube videos edited by me. He's hired many other editors over time since I was too expensive over time. You got to have a lot of skills to be the best, to be remote. And that doesn't matter whether you have a job or not, my friends. We all got a peak at remote work, and it may come in waves. But to earn remote work year-round and be confident and sustainable, you got to be great. I will lead you to greatness, though. I will tell you everything that's required to become great. You just have to absorb all the videos. It's all there now. We're going to add more. We're going to update them, but it's all there. Let's be honest. So $2,200 month after month. Video, landing page, video, ad, video, ebook. That's how it would be, right? That's what modern marketing feels like. It's like, hey, I don't know what we're going to do because we have such a small business and we have the internet. We can pivot. We can do different things. We can test. We can try. The full stack marketer thrives with entrepreneurs in the growth phases of their businesses because those people take chances. They don't know what's going to work. Otherwise, they'd already be zillionaires. Everyone's discovering a better method. Everyone's discovering if there's someone better to do the job constantly. It's a never ending. I can go and kick any marketer out right now. I can call Nike, call Lululemon, call Tesla, and I could eventually say, look, put me in instead of that person. Guaranteed better results. Like, that's the confidence level you need and want, but that's actually the truth. Because I have more skills, therefore I have more context around business, therefore I'm a bigger player. I'm not just sitting at the technical marketing level. I'm not just clicking the media buying buttons. I'm a strategic partner for you. I'm a brain trust for you. I've seen many things. I see how this would affect that. What about second order consequences, second degree consequences? What about that? You think that if we just make one little change to the funnel here, that couldn't impact the entire set of advertising at a retroactive level, meaning it's further back in the funnel? You know, like, you can't just look at marketing from one stage of the customer journey. You won't have cohesiveness in the message, the timing, the tone, the rhythm, everything. It'll be lost. It's fine at certain levels. And when there's no competition, it'll do just great. But I want everyone to be able to be a competitive player. That's going to give you more confidence. So now at this point, I can see that, okay, I know that people like this stuff. People want this stuff. So I had a set of services. I let people ask me for them. I see what happens. All of a sudden, I had all this experience. So coming in full stack is a quick way to see a lot of different parts of a business. And that's so valuable. I don't know how to explain that. That's just really valuable. And I like to say that, you know, when I was training as a TV broadcaster in 2003, my professor would say, go up to the interior of the country where there's only a few people. You can run the whole news station over there. Whereas if you stay here in Vancouver, you're just going to get a grunt job. Right? And that was the truth. And that persisted here, right? And there's value in expanding your skill stack before you go to the market. You are less likely to give up because you have options. You don't have to spend as much time in proposals and sales. You just sort of say, look, make one request at a time and I'll do whatever you need me to do to make your business successful, because at the end of the day, we both want results, don't we? We cannot any longer do these silly packages where it's like, hey, I want to do 5 videos a month for $1,000 for you. It's like, well, which 5 videos? What if I don't need 5 videos? What if I need 50? Or what if I need 1? That's awesome. Instead of your 5 templates. We need flexibility for our clients. So why say anything? Because how are you ever going to get a client who's like, can just pump 8-minute videos time after time? What if it's a 16-minuter? What if it's a 22-minuter? What's a 44-minuter? What are you going to do with those minuters? Honestly. You're going to tell them, no, I can't edit this video. You made it too long. No, you say, look, my average video length is based on a 10-minute cut. It's a turnaround of 48 hours for a level 2 edit. I see you've requested a level 3 edit, and this looks like it's about 32 minutes of raw. So I'm just going to be estimating 9 business days for turnaround. Should we go forward? Boom! You can easily control the expectations and then send them away while you focus. If they send you an email, acknowledge it. Say, hey, I'm going to get to this as soon as we finish your video. Or has a priority changed? Let me know. It's their priority, not yours. What do you care what gets finished? That's not what your job is in this case. Your job is to do what you're told in a client services relationship, but that you're going to control the output by using a productized nature, right? So when client comes to you and says, I want a video edited, they don't get to tell you how to edit it. They accept your editing style. Now they can say, let's make some alterations, but there's no time for a brief. There's no time for a meeting. They have to trust you to understand their brand nature and to not overdo the effects, to not make a bunch of assumptions, to play conservative with the brand until they say so. You follow? That's when I began to understand it's all about just becoming a productized service in the end of the day. Done with you is great. Done for you is great, but they have to cost a lot more, right? So kind of coming in below that, where you don't have these customizable service, is sort of almost DIY and done with you. It's sort of a hybrid in a way. Everyone's going to get kind of the same process, and that's going to keep you lean. So your goal to become remote, to get that passport that lets you earn anywhere, is to come up with a set of skills that can lead you to productized outputs. Video is one of them. Lead generation is another. Content creation is another. Engaging an audience is another. In all of those skill sets, I can think of 3 to 4 to 5 productized services that the client might choose one month and then not the next month. Maybe this month they want to run a social media contest. So you get out your SOP for social media contest and you fill out the framework. You just fill it out. You don't think from scratch. You only create, productize, and then offer to client. Now here's what's really cool. Let's say you find out that videos take you really long, but you're really fast at copywriting. Just adjust the incentive mechanism. You should have either a credit system or an estimated time of arrival of the deliverable. So if it says my average 500 words of copy takes 3 days and my average 10-minute video takes 3 days, but then you realize, holy moly, like I'm going so fast with copy. I love copy. This is my super strength, but I don't want to get rid of video yet. All you do is say copy 2 days, video 7 days. You just increase or decrease the day or the credits. You can use a credit system too. You can give your client 30 credits a month, one for each day. And most requests cost 2 to 4 credits because they take 2 to 4 days. Each day you're putting in 1 to 2 hours for that client, not 8 hours. Let's be clear on that. Because a lot of times as a marketer, you need to let things sit, simmer, optimize. You don't necessarily just whip it out once. I mean, it's up to you. I already skip a lot of the drafting and mock-ups, but I do think it's good to go brain blast, dump, sit on it, come back, finalize it, and ship it. I mean, at least one revision from yourself, right? So what does that mean? That means your goal is to have a document set so that when someone makes a request, you just go to your documents and you follow them. And that's how my courses were born. You basically got my SOPs, that every time I was making a funnel, I would do it this way. Every time I made an ad, I would go this process. And that what's make me good is my process. Because my process is longer than your process, it's better than yours, and it's even more efficient. It's actually 4 times as effective. And that just comes from skill and experience. And I'm not talking about you per se. I'm just talking about the general competition I was facing at the time, because I wasn't facing a lot of freelance marketers and still aren't. There's barely any of us. It's still a new skill to be developing because people like me just arrived. We just got here to say, hey, this is happening. Do you want some? This is what we're doing. Join us and do it together. And that's what's happening. That's happening all over the world in all sorts of things. There's communities for every little thing, not just making money, meeting people, raising kids, having birth, retiring. There's courses for everything now because people want to share what they've been doing with their life because there was no way to share it before. You had to write a frickin' book and then you had to find a publisher. You know, that was insane, right? So that's where everything just grew for me. Grew income from working with clients, grew income from working with courses. At the same time, I raised all my prices for my services because I had enough clients. I tried not to do proposals. I tried to say, look, this is how I do it. I like to get paid monthly, but I don't like to set the number of deliverables. I like to be flexible. But that doesn't mean we can't estimate. If you tell me, look, I want to hire you, but I only want your videos. I don't want your whole menu. That's fine. Well, you're probably going to get 6 videos a month. 8 level 3s. Or do you want level 1s? I can do 16 of those. I can do a level 1 every day. That's up to you. And it's very reasonable here. This is where we found the dialogue with the clients of like, yeah, that's all reasonable. You know what's not reasonable? Hey, could you make a proposal for me? Sure. Let me spend 6 hours on it, blow my brains out about making it perfect, and then you don't even respond. Right? Is that going to work anymore? How about this? Let's make 10 videos for $1,000 and not even care what kind of video it is. Let's just keep pumping the same junk over and over. Let's never stop to do strategy. Now, productize your strategy. What's a productized strategy but a bunch of questions? Right? What's a bunch of what's productized strategy but a bunch of questions? I mean, it's just like, hey, where do you want to go from here? What do you want to accomplish? Where are you today? What do you want? What's holding you back? Why didn't you do it? What could we do? What are our opportunities, strengths, weaknesses, threats? Done. We came up with it. Pop it into ChatGPT, get some extra ideas, round it out. Here's what we believe could be an effective strategy. That was 2 days, one service. Click, collect, click and collect. Productize and decentralize. Skills pay the bills. Take your goddamn power back, my friends. You ain't gonna do it in a job because you know what? If you get laid off or your company goes under like every other company these days, I guess in the US, you guys have some incredible companies. If you can get into some top, yeah, there's some incredible careers out there. There's people getting paid ridiculous amounts, primarily in America. There's some weird stuff going on there. It's gonna be interesting if interest rates don't come down now that we're no longer in this kind of free money VC area. So that was really it. I didn't go into too many details, but the rest is history because I believe in 4 income sources, not one. Services is the beginning. And the way I look at it is like when someone comes into my life, if I can offer you services, I will, because it's going to be the most expensive thing I do. And if you want to pay that, let's do it. Let's get it on. Right? If you don't want to pay it, check out my courses. You don't want to pay it, check out my freelancers that I know. Check out my members. You don't want to pay it, off you go. Check out my YouTube videos, right? That's fine. But you see how you like filter people through your life? It's good to have services at the top so you can claim a lot of income, right? If you only have affiliate marketing, that is a small nugget for quite some time. It's a big market. It's tough. A lot of players. Services is great. But you know what else I like? Digital products that I can build once and sell twice. YouTube videos, which are assets that perform month after month and pay me ad revenue and drive me leads. I like those. And I like affiliate marketing. Why not? Throw it in there. The 4 income sources of the modern marketer. And that's basically what I teach, if you're wondering, at the Full Stack Marketer Lab. The skills you need and the roadmap to making money with them. Is there anything else that's important these days? I mean, what skills are you focused on if you're not on digital marketing? And how is that future proof? How is that remote capable? Are you sure you're doing the right thing? I know I spent tons of my life not having any clue where I was supposed to go. I thought I was supposed to be a doctor, a movie star, a lawyer, a professional golfer. Maybe I'm supposed to be a psychiatrist. Like, I went through all of the brain exercises. I played the game of life. I know that there was different incomes from different jobs. I thought about it. But you know what pulled at me a lot? The feeling that when you don't have to watch the clock, when you are so in your flow, I have no idea how long I've been sitting here. I haven't taken a single moment to look at the chat. I have no script in front of me. I'm looking at a black screen. I am sitting in a room talking to a black screen right now. Why am I doing that? Because that is a part of who I am. And I can do that almost endlessly. And if I didn't have a family, I would be here endlessly. I'd be doing all sorts of things here. Maybe one day I'll return to that. Once you know you're not on the right path, it pulls at you. And when you're always at the job watching the clock, it eats away at you. And when you're spending time at traffic instead of doing things you like, and you have to get to bed early enough so that you can wake up and fight off the alarm for a place you don't want to be. Like, I fight my alarm because it's at 5, because I have a lot of responsibilities and I have kids and it's challenging. I do fight the alarm, But at least once I'm up, I can smile, you know? I'm not dreading the day at all. Although it was hard for me to get here because I did not have preparation, because I had a very difficult week last week and I didn't work at all in the last 48 hours due to family needs. It's challenging. It's okay. It's fulfilling. And I think that people are looking for depth in their work, purpose. So you have to start investigating your ikigai. Ikigai, the Japanese concept and meaning, a reason for being. Japanese are some of the longest living people and some very successful systems and methodologies because they find depth in their work no matter what they do, and they surrender to who they are instead of trying to do what's popular and trendy. Now, I find digital marketing gets a beautiful combination of all of that. You can find your passion because you can do what you want and go the 1,000 true fans route, which says that any niche is viable. And if you apply marketing correctly and learn the skills I teach, I know you can be a world famous anything you want and have 1,000 true fans and never have a client if you ever want. But when we learn these skills, why wouldn't we quickly turn that into money to help people around the world so that we can live wherever we want? Why would we take such deep sacrifice just to have our passion project? Well, some people might be that. I wasn't like that. I'm willing to put my passion a bit aside, but I found out that I like marketing and I like being in this game and I like making stories and videos and assets and advertisements and funnels and pages. I like it. And people want to pay for it and people need it, and we can do better than what's out there. The world wants us to be a part of this. If we can claim some sort of level of standard and integrity, the world needs us. How many marketers are willing to lie? I'm not willing to lie. I've never lied one time before on the internet. Send that clip to a lie detector, guys. If I lied, I think I would know, and I would never say that. I just have no reason to lie. Sure, I haven't told you every minute of my life, every escapade I've had, every degeneracy I've experienced. I tried to share how to come out of those things, you know, because we all face the challenges of addictions and negative behaviors that we learn from the media that is force-fed to us. That's why a lot of this finding the passport that lets you earn anywhere is all about unlearning things that have gripped you into some sense of slavery. It's about unlearning ideas, and it's very difficult because most times your family and friends are not ready to unlearn. You'll get resistance there, right? One of the reasons why I believed in a community-oriented business, because this is a lonely journey. So we need people to help us, because this is something most people would give up on when they go alone. They don't have inspiration, they don't have support. So I don't know. I'm just wondering where Rich and Niche is going to be in a few years. If we're already at, 50 active people online at any given time, ready to discuss, ready to talk, ready to debate, ready to learn, study. Well, that's a making of a small school, right? What will we accomplish? It's yet to be seen. But I think first and foremost, it's our job to lay out a crystal clear pathway to earning that money. I'm sure many of you have done pretty well in your careers to some degree, but you haven't figured out how to translate that into your remote capability. You may get remote permission from your job, but it can equally be taken away. And so that doesn't really allow you much freedom except to be fake remote, which is working from home, but always still on the clock and within reach. I don't think that's exactly what you want. That's not the highest level for sure, right? So no one's going anywhere without the skills, and no one's really going to be a successful one-man business without marketing as a skill. So why not make your business about marketing if that's the skill you're going to learn? That's the skipping step, right? When someone's out there right now thinking, man, I want to make the next electric car. I can do that, but I don't know anything about marketing. They're going to have to give away a piece of their business. They're going to have to take venture capital money. They're going to have low control. You see what happens in some of these situations, in some of these higher ups, and that's not what everyone wants to get involved with. That makes everything so complex, less fast. How can you take on everything yourself is the real question you should ask, make that work, make that sustainable so that it's future proof. Like, if it's relying on other people to make it happen in any shape or form, including outsourcing, it may not be sustainable, because what if prices change? What if people change? What if tools change? So first, at least be able to manage 3 clients paying you, $2,000 to $3,000 US a month, and then you can go live in so many places like a king or queen, right? And then you can outsource because you have a productized service, because it's not really you, it's your method. Right? So my clients would, if they wanted my full process, it would always be strategy, funnel, content, and ads. Every time. I would never change that. Because you think of a freelancer and a marketer, like, we should be able to hire that person and they'll just do whatever we want them to do. And yeah, that was the way it worked. And that's what agencies do, sort of, And there's a room for that. But that's not really what your desire is. And that's why I like to work with entrepreneurs and influencers and startup brands, e-commerce, high cash flow, people with multiple businesses who don't have a lot of time, people who want to invest in growth. But most of us learn the skills in our local businesses because they have far lower standards. Your clients you find on Craigslist aren't going to get too mad at you if you're not a super pro. They just need a website up. I remember I made a website for an electric vehicle charging company. Electric vehicle charging. This was 2016. I made a website and it was not great. I had weird requests. But you know what was the funniest thing? The last request the client had was to make the page title banner neon green. I just let it go. I put it through. I walked away from that. It was unbelievable. The quality that they thought would be viable was, to me, insane. But you know what I bet? I bet at the time it didn't matter because there was no competition. This was so pre-Tesla almost. Like, Tesla was nothing at the time. So my point is that you often gain the early skills in very small projects locally so that you can gain the competence and confidence to make the leap into remote capable work. And that's one thing I didn't harp on enough. I made a commitment that I would never take location-based income ever again. I would never agree to something that said, you have to be here for this long. Never agreed to that. And I think that's critical. I think you have to make that. And I think then you have to realize, I'm cutting that bridge off. I can't go back there anymore. Right? And then the rest is history. You have the skills. Now what you need is people to purchase them from you. And that's when it starts to build a business. Get a good domain name, get a great page set up, and now you're thinking about offers. The Productized service full stack executive VA offer is blind dead simple. Anything on my menu, one quest at a time, X dollars per month, you pay every month. Or specialized signature power offer. This package, this is what I believe in. This is what I do. Don't ask me for anything on a menu. I do this. My page is all about why this is the greatest thing, why this has gotten crazy results. And the other one is more about, this is how this will save you time. This is how it'll make your life easier. This is how you can have multiple businesses and not burn out. Different benefits. And it's going to be different type of people based on their skill sets and experience. When you come into my lab, which runs every quarter, I do not tell you your niche. I do not tell you how to run your business. I give you different frameworks that you can decide to apply based on your own self-awareness. All these businesses where they're like, you only do this model, you got to do this. It's like, what I've learned is that if we don't look at our strengths and weaknesses, we're probably not getting the most out of ourselves. And if you know one model is perfect for you, great. The cool thing about these models is they can actually be interchanged. Let's say you're a lead generation specialist who can also edit videos and create text content. Your lead generation package is tried and true. It's $5K. You get this, 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 and it's done. That's a productized service in itself. It's just a big one. Then you can say, or if you don't like that, here's what I also offer. It's this price. It's all these things. You get the freedom to pick and choose what you need when you want it. It's a la carte versus everything that we believe in as the premium bundle. Why wouldn't you just run both? You could. You could have either two businesses or one. I think they both work. I don't think those things, I think it's nice. I think it's nice to have. Here's what I don't like. X deliverables for X dollars fixed. No guarantees. All that leads to is churn work. All that leads to is going through the motions. No one's incentivized. We should get really wise about incentivizing people properly. This whole idea of hourly, it's just for the basic bare bones one landing page project. It's just for little rough estimates. There's no need to use it. The only thing you need to do is, instead of selling per hour, is just productize your deliverables. Then you don't track time, you just focus on the output, but you even know landing page takes 3 hours. Blog post takes 4 hours. Ebook takes 24 hours. Like, you would know eventually. And that's what you want. And that's how you make it systemizable. And that's how you have something sustainable where you can earn anywhere. So you move to Bali, you move to Belgrade, you move to Mexico City, you move to Paraguay, you move to Portugal. All those places, you get a co-working spot. When you have no clients, all you're doing is hunting. All you're doing is refining, showing as many people as your offer, seeking 3 to 5 clients. You should be able to grow from there. You should be able to see everything you need to see at that point to go above and beyond. I've said it many times, I believe 100%. This skill is an unlock. It uncaps your income. You know what, guys? You know how many ideas I can execute now that I couldn't execute before that I had these skills? By the time I'm dead, I'll have 20 businesses. And I'll have people from Rich and Niche operating them, because I'm training business developers, not just digital marketers. You go through my program, you're a goddamn genius at the end. People will look at you like, how do you know that? People will come into the room and be like, why does that person know more than me? Why is that? That's been happening to me my whole life. Simply staying up to date on the cutting edge of things, as we are today, normally in the Infinite Ascension Hour. Today we're taking one step back to take 2 steps forward. We're making sure we understand what are the requirements to have remote capable income. I'm sure in the next 5 years, we'll have a very successful drop shipping company here. We'll have a very successful services company in different niches. We're just getting started. We're only 3 years old. We've just launched version 2. If you haven't heard, go to richandniche.com to see our all new website and our all new Full Stack Marketer Lab 2.0. Bigger, better than ever, shorter duration, more impactful. Everything I've learned in 20 weeks, we guarantee you your first client. There's nothing that compares to this. When you finish the program, you have full support in the community, 6 months access to me, any question that comes up to you while you strive to achieve your remote capability, your future-proof income, your skills stack that no one can take from you. I will be there for you. I will be your mentor. I will be your coach. That's what I do while I do all this other stuff, because I'm invincible. I'm unstoppable. I can only go up. No one can stop me. And that's what you want to be. You want to be incredibly dangerous. You don't have to be rich and wealthy. You have to be dangerous. Okay, wealth slows people down. It's a great achievement to have. I'm going to tell you right now, if you were born wealthy, you'd be crying your eyes out that you have no purpose. No one thinks you did anything. You have no skills because you never needed them. Trust me on that. The greatest thing you can do is never take a penny from another person ever again, and earn every single penny on your own from your own skill set, not a single dime passed on to you. That is the ultimate. That is the goddamn ultimate achievement, in my opinion. That's what I want. That's what I strive for. It's freaking difficult right now to not take support from your family. Trust me, I know all sorts of people that have had to go backwards. Tough times all around. So don't you think that at the very least, you better get a supportive network and community to back you up through these times? Is your family going to be there for you? Do they care about your remote capability? They might even hate you for it. They might resent you for becoming so great. I bet they do. I bet they do. We live in a funny world. A lot of families don't see eye to eye. Political and other related experiences have caused great divide. Unfortunately, I'm not sure there's much we can do. And that's why I'm telling you is that remote capability is more important than ever. Because 50 years ago, I think family was different. I'm not going to comment on what I feel about that, but I think it's different now. And I don't know what to tell you about that. But I certainly wouldn't be waiting for my big brother to pay my bills. I wouldn't worry about inheritance from grandma and grandpa. God, I don't even know if your parents are going to have anything left. You know, because in this world, they can keep you alive for a long time, even if you're sick and you can't work. And suddenly it's just a big expense on everyone. The country, all the way down to the family. Everyone pays when we're sick. And we have so many people in that vulnerable zone now who don't have a good assessment of what it means to be healthy. You see, the boomers, they didn't have the internet. They have no idea what that's about. That's the craft dinner culture. Nothing wrong with it at the time. I love my parents. But they never even approached health once. Anything was allowed to be eaten. I struggle today to deal with sugar, carbs, cravings. It's very difficult. And if your parents are just prepping your body for that, it's just like, hey, they don't know any better. And now our generation is dealing with a different poison, and that's the device. So, being able to, at the very least, choose where you live is going to be an advantage for you. Versus, well, I guess this is it. I guess I'll just accept what's happening. You know, I really wish we could openly examine some of these things, but unfortunately we can't. Shall I look at the chat for the first time? Good morning. Hello. Milosh, Dex, Amir, Jovan, Sfiwi, Michelle, You First, Solutions A to B, Coralie. Hey, Johnson. Welcome to the family. Hey guys, thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Infinite Ascension. Please do look at my new website. I'm very proud of it. I just feel like we've come to a new level. Maybe the offer's not super clear yet. Maybe the website could be a bit more in depth. But we're doing something new. We have evolved and transformed. We no longer sell courses. We only sell outcomes. We don't want to do anything except make sure you get your first remote capable client and that you have the skills to keep getting them. Is that such a bad idea? Should we waste time with more little courses about this and that, or should we just throw the whole kitchen sink and make sure you get the results with full accountability? Because I just got really tired of people buying my courses and not doing them and not coming to the community and not being a part of this and not taking action. And you know why? Because $100, $200, $300, it doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore after inflated prices. Man, you can get 3 tanks of gas for $200. It's crazy, you know? So it's like you have to literally charge more to hurt people's wallet so that they think, my God, I bought something valuable. I've got to get the value out of it. I can't just let it sit. And that's what people have been doing. They've been sleeping on me. Yet people in my community who are going all in are getting the exact results that we thought we could get. You see, we never promised anything before. We never promised clients. We never promised anything. We didn't know. It took time. And after 3 years, we've collected dozens and dozens and dozens of 5-star reviews, testimonials, video case studies, interviews. I've got people all over the world that we've been able to gift this precious skill. I'm not selling you anything, my friends. I'm inviting you to add on a skill set that will turn you into an unstoppable, incredible, scroll-stopping human being. When you talk, people will listen. Because what we learn in the Full Stack Marketer Lab is business as it is today. Unless you're talking about FANG, Facebook, Apple, Alphabet, Google, Netflix, Microsoft, unless you're talking about that, most of the business world is happening in a flat, prosumer, do-it-yourself, lean, mean, small business team machine. Okay? The corporate world is thrusting its energy upon us, but real humans work in small businesses. Corporations are, you fill in the blank for me in the chat right now. Corporations are, fill in the blank. You decide what they are to you. They are a vehicle. They are a monster. They are heartless. I think we can go on. I have so much to do and so little time. I'm scared. I'm scared I don't have enough time. There's so much to be done. And when your priority is your family and your children, it's hard to find time. So if you don't have children yet, go all in. Invest your money now. Take a gamble now. You can't once you have kids. It's a totally different risk profile. Everything changes, and yet remote capability is still very valuable. Because when you want to move and you have a family, you might want to get a bigger place for the space, more privacy, more land. How are you going to commute 2 hours suddenly and be a dad and be a mom? How are you going to do that? No. You need remote capability and high income skills without a cap so that you can work 100% on what you love doing so that you never get sick of it and you're always into it, doing your best. Look, a lot of people don't want to become the GOAT of their job. It's like, hey, do you want to become the GOAT sales manager? Hey, do you want to become the GOAT SDR? No, no one does. They are just grinding it as a means to an end. They are praying they get ranked up. They are praying they get a raise. They are praying they get what is it called when you, I don't even know what's it called when you get a better job. Promoted. I've never been promoted before. Can you believe that? I've never been promoted before. Oh my God, no one promoted me because I'm the worst employee. It's not going to work, right? A lot of these things aren't going to work anymore. People are going to have to make some changes, some sacrifices, and they're going to have to be okay with a little bit of pain. And I just want you to know that if you want to be an entrepreneur, the number one thing you actually need to be able to do is to withstand pain and completely smile through it. The other day I was putting my son to bed, and the way we've arranged, we have 2 beds, his bed and then ours right next to each other. And his mattress is low to the ground. And the mattress is perfectly in like alignment with the bottom of the other bed. And I was just getting off the bed and I like put my foot on the edge of the mattress, and the mattress kind of depressed. And then my foot slid under the bed and all the skin got scraped off the top. And I just looked at my foot and I was like, that hurts. But I was so tired that I just went to bed. I I didn't get a bandage. I didn't try to stop the bleeding or anything. I was just like, no, I was already going to bed. I can live with this pain. It's not great, but I can live with it. And that's what it is you're going to face pain because the benefit of this is so valuable. It trumps the pain easily. Whereas the benefit of jobs, they often don't trump the pain of commuting, trump the pain of meetings, trump the pain of an annoying boss, right? But trust me, when you're starting to earn remote income and you start achieving the 4 income sources as I have, you'll be laughing. You'll be so free that everything in life is amazing. I haven't been mad for like 6 years. I swear to God, I don't get mad. I don't even have a problem. I enjoy the problems because I asked for this. The problems are mine, not anyone else's. What a beautiful thing that is, right? So you feel me? I hope you're on the way to stacking those skills. That's all you need to do today. Go do something. Okay, go make a landing page, go write a blog post, go make a video, go make a course, go prospect 50 names, email them for business, design your productized offers. Those are all things you could be doing, any of them. Here's what you shouldn't do. Watch TV, play video games, go out late at night, spend hours on social media. What's your phone screen time? What's your average screen time? I'm about 3 hours a day, but that's not even mostly me. I do use it to like play a kid's music or, a little video here and there. 3 hours screen time on the phone. Like if you're at 8, oh my, I wonder if your brain even works. No offense. I don't mean any offense, but you are under such a hypnosis if you are using your phone for 8 hours a day. You must fight that. Some people go to great lengths. They just put their phone in a completely different room. They have to. I don't. I don't desire to pick up my phone. It's like, more people wanting something, like you're just trying to stay focused. Your phone only has distraction. You stick with your email, your Slack, your Discord, your premium communications. Have we done a good job today? Let me know in the chat. Did I give you any tips? Did I give you any ability to move forward on your passport that lets you earn anywhere? Your passport is just a few more trainings away. Train up. Okay. Why don't you train? Why is nothing in your life training? Shouldn't you be training to be great? No, because you accept mediocrity. If you want to be great, you must train. You must cut the time out to train. You must be getting good at something. You must push yourself. Some people learn differently, so I don't know all the ways, but if I didn't have what I want, I'd be asking someone who had it. Or I'd be watching the videos that they were making when they had it. That's what I would do. That's probably what I did whenever I could. For me, it was more so blog posts. I read a lot of blog posts, a lot of forum threads, and I didn't talk a lot in threads, I'll admit. I didn't write a lot. I was more of a lurker. But I definitely took action. Hey, it's great to have 7 income sources. Nothing wrong with that. There are some people that like to argue now that you can't or that you should focus on one. If you want to hit 8 figures in your life, that probably is true. You can't juggle a lot of things and make them great. But if you're happy earning, I'd say $150,000, I think the route is multiple income streams. I think it's 75 from your main, 25 from your next thing, and then a mix of all sorts of other small income streams. 3,000 from this affiliate product, 2,000 from your template on Etsy, consulting session here and there. Like, yeah, I think that if you go back on my returns, like that's what you would see is like a big chunk of service work, bunch of random work, and then random affiliate products, YouTube AdSense. Like I used to get Google AdSense when I was blogging. I kind of lost interest in that, and definitely AdSense made more sense for YouTube for me. So, but I would say, you know, if you don't have a client today, and I probably didn't say this one before, I would also be starting your own YouTube channel and your own website, independent of your services. I know one of our students was just posting today about a YouTube channel he started for music, and I think that's a great start. You don't have to make videos like me or the things you see. The videos you watch are probably not the type you should make, because you should make things that are different and unique to you. But I think that having a channel and having a website that you can practice on is so valuable, because we're talking about digital marketing, and these things happen on your website, in your email list, and on your channel. And if you want an email list, you can't really get one until you have either a channel or a website. And those two things work really well together. Like, why don't you just make your goal to start an email list? Because that really sets in motion a lot of the other things. And it's hard when no one's joining your list to care, or even if one person comes on that you've never seen before, because you're like, huh, great. Like Johnny No Name just joined my email list, never heard of him, don't really want to talk to him, could be a random, no idea. That's what happens at first, but you don't realize what's really happening is you're building up the snowball to getting 10 to 20 leads every day, and then eventually putting those people in some sort of application or automation where they can self-qualify and be on your calls. So yeah, Johnny No Name today, but when 20 leads come in today, and more ideally, it's like, well, I don't care your names. I care which person is qualified to hear the best offer I have. And so you're working towards that 600 leads a month or whatever, 20 leads a day, 10 leads a day, 300 leads a month. That's a perfect amount to ask for. And you're going to have to get 1,000 viewers to get those 100 leads or whatever it is, right? So it's a traffic plus a website where you can convert into an opt-in. That's a really critical component to building an email list, which is a really critical component of many things. Whether that email list is your email list or not, here's what I would say happened to me. I built an email list of like a bunch of people for the wrong sites that I never really wanted to end up selling for. But sometimes I would make an offer and say, hey, come to my new list. Or sometimes I just scrap it. Or sometimes I would mix lists. Like I did all sorts of wrong things when I was learning and discovering. And I think what I learned is like if you capture 100 people, yeah, 90 of them aren't worth much and you're going to lose them over time. But those 10, they keep stacking up. And so like I ran an email campaign this week, you know, and it was well over $1 per subscriber. So it's not about how much each person makes, it's the average, and that there's a 20% or even a 4% group that makes up the amount of money for everyone else. And you have to be playing in that sort of volume situation in order to experience the benefits of digital marketing, which just isn't traffic itself. It's the optimization of the experience upon the traffic being served. That's the thing. That's why it's exciting. Because if we always had to just guess and we had to build the skyscraper before we knew if it was going to work, it would never work. There'd be too many failures. But with the modern iteration, the ability to pivot when necessary, the ability to destroy digital materials and recreate them in minutes, we're in a different game. Failure doesn't happen. It's just a matter of you're not working hard enough, unfortunately, or you're too busy because you've prioritized other things. Quite likely the case. It could be a job that you've prioritized because money is important. I understand that. So you should deal with your other priorities, but when digital marketing is the priority of the day, you are hunting clients and serving them a productized service, building out the income sources, and that's going to be happening because you committed to having a traffic source where you put out something of your interest. You have a website to take those interested people and turn them into customers. That's it. You should be doing that. Because, I had this conversation a lot. It's like, do I have to be great on Instagram to be a digital marketer? No. But do I have to be able to maybe show I can work a funnel? Yeah, maybe. Right? So the sooner you come up with a simple viral idea that you can make in a 3-minute video using an AI voice and B-roll because no one else created it before, because you came up with a unique idea based on your personal interest in Ikigai. You challenge yourself to make 3 to 5 videos that are really good. Before you put those videos up, you have to have a landing page. And at the very least on the landing page, it has to say, hey, join my waiting list to get XYZ. That's the least it has. If you want to increase that conversion rate, then you say, here, have something for free. Okay? Those are the actions we're primarily doing in our work as digital marketers. And it's only after we master those that we feel even more confident to not just put up a YouTube video, which costs time, but maybe run a YouTube ad or a Facebook or Instagram ad or a LinkedIn or Twitter ad. These things work. They definitely work. Different for each business, and certainly a big difference when you can sell them a $50 item right then and there versus, hey, this is a multi-$1,000 and life-changing decision. You got to know how to operate that. And when you do have something very difficult to sell, you sell something smaller. And for many people, that's some kind of webinar. You're selling a content experience as the gateway into your expensive product. So ads can still work at that experience because people would look at an ad and say, oh, I want to learn that. That sounds actually quite relevant to me right now, and no one's taught me that. So I'll show up to this for 45 minutes to an hour. And if they spend an hour with you, they can spend $1,000 with you. It's typically that ratio, as someone reminded me today. And so if you want to sell 5,000, you need 5 hours of video or 5 hours of content. That's very common. And so when you see a lot of influencers or people that are higher up in the marketing industry or other industries too, they are able to command quite a high rate because people have spent so much time with them in content. They build a lot of trust. They're having transformations simply in that free experience. That goes a long way for goodwill these days, right? Okay, think I'm wrapping it up. Let's just quickly see if there's any critical questions. Let's say I'm full stack marketing, how to get a 2K retainer. Well, I think you're missing a few elements, and that's like, what are you really offering? Are you going that multi-menu service, or are you going the premium offer? If you go premium offer, you just want to get people to see that offer. It should be good enough that it really has people's interest. So you can run an ad, you can make content. If you don't have an audience, that can be difficult. And a lot of people do cold outreach, whether that's email, Instagram, or LinkedIn. I think email is preferred. You definitely have to be a good email writer. I see a lot of weaknesses there for most people. You got to be a lot more creative. Try not to use templates. I really think that the best way at cold email is to write ahead of the game. I really think a good cold email right now apologizes for being a cold email. I think a lot of people are getting annoyed, but it's going to get worse. I would say, hey, this is a cold email and I hate them like most people, but I believe this is exactly right for your business. And I would do the work to figure out if it is right for them. So I had said like, people with 2 businesses are really good because they are too busy, and it's very unlikely they are having low success because you wouldn't have a second business. You just focus on one. So they would happily pay $2K for a marketer to be their right-hand man to say, hey, I want something for business A. Oh, I want something for business B. Unlimited brands. Don't restrict that. The client is working with you for you to do stuff for them. And you make it easy on yourself by not doing things you've never done before, but things you've documented and itemized so that it's quite quick to complete it. And that even in a perfect world, you even have some one-click solutions, whether AI helps you with that or automation or some sort of template where it's very quick to start turning out these things. They might think it takes a day. it could literally be taking you 5 minutes. That's the secret. You see, business, it's not about that every minute is documented and there's an exchange for that. It's that at the end of the day, at the end of the month, one person gave money, another person gave a service, and everyone's happy. How you get to that should be tricky, specialized, unique, strategic, thoughtful, complex, simple, many different things. I like to say that's why Tesla's the number one right now, because they are the most complex, yet they've mastered the process of engineering cars. It's huge scale, very hard work. So you need to master the process of landing pages, of video edits, of what is the fastest way to caption a video in 2023. Think about that. In just 2018, you had to caption videos by hand. Literally have to watch the full video and stop it, start it all the time and type in all the captions. It was almost 10 minutes per 1 minute. So we would only do it for short form content. Thank God a lot of the platforms came up with automatic transcription, and now even better, we have third-party apps. But if you were doing a productized caption service, which I was at some point, it would take you, 30 minutes. Now it's going to take you 1 second, because you can literally click one button and the computer knows the entire workflow to get exactly what you want. You might have to drag and drop a file or copy paste something. So maybe it's 7 to 10 seconds, but that's a factor of 1,000,000. So I think you have to see the efficiency there. And it's like, you might have some super services, let's call them power-ups, whether you do those by hand or you have partners for that. And then you have sort of standardized services that maybe some of those, like, they're pretty basic. Like, it's almost like anyone could do them and no one would be able to tell. You're going to print money on those, right? Because that, like, if McDonald's got rid of their fries, they wouldn't be profitable. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you might come in as a video editor, but to have that one-click landing page on your menu, that might be your fries. Hello? Do you think anyone is scared to open McDonald's? Man, if I had a lot more money, I'd be interested in buying a McDonald's. Right? Free nuggets for life. Come on, who doesn't want that? But seriously, no one's scared to run a McDonald's. It's proven it works, right? It's a matter of just figuring it out or hiring someone to do the job. So have you been selling burgers, which cost you a lot, without any fries and drink? Uh-oh, right? Here's a new plan. Here's a new strategy. Take a step back. Think about what you're doing. Decide if there's a better way to move forward. Invest in a few more skills. Productize and learn what it means and which are the best ones to productize, which can be productized and which can't. We're going to have to explore that. Pretty much anything can be productized. The quality just creeps down a little bit. You get a little less customization. But I mean, I would even be searching how to bring it back, and just say, look, you want customization? No problem. I got to get my third-party partner over here and it's going to take 3 times as much time. And you can still profit off that. Imagine you were getting paid $4K a month, but you had a $1K a month designer that you paid per hour instead, and they were just really fast, and that you can go to them when you need them and get speed out of them. You got to have speed for the productized agency. You can't say unlimited requests, one at a time, and then take 30 days to write some copy. In fact, you actually want to go faster and just say, hey, this is where I got to. Do you want me to keep diving at this level, or does this work for you? You don't want to overspend their time, and you don't want to waste your time with things they didn't ask for. Got to be careful of that. Just for fun, let's call it 15 years ago. What was your favorite item at McDonald's? Or maybe what is your favorite item at McDonald's today? I mean, I am a chicken nuggets kid. Like, I grew up on that shit. But I would say one of my favorite McDonald's items, and let's be honest, McDonald's is one of the goats of branding, one of the goats of marketing. I see a McDonald's ad billboard and I just light up. I think it's perfect every time. the respect I have for the quality, the perfection of their ads every time. The idea, the angle, the photography, the layout of the billboard, the thoughtfulness of the location, the slight optimization around how far until the next McDonald's. I just love it all. I know it's not healthy food, but I don't harbor negative feelings to McDonald's. Like the pizza, man. I really liked that pizza when it came out. I don't know why. I'd make my mom get me that McDonald's pizza. I mean, I think the fries are world class. I think sometimes they oversalt them. You know how it is. But pizza, man. Love that pizza. Let me know in the chat what you used to get. What would you get now? Quarter pounder, Big Mac. Never had a Big Mac in my life. Was not a burger kid. When you, like I said at the beginning of this call, when your parents don't know much health and they let you eat everything, you will trend into the blander, simpler, more carbohydrated foods, and you will shy away from the complex flavors that require a multi-ingredient bite, the perfect bite. You know what I'm saying? Kids don't understand the perfect bite. The best foods in life require a perfect bite. They are not a homogeneous texture, in my opinion. Well then, an hour and a half. Jeez, what a rush. What a run today. We did it. You know why I'm not doing a traditional IA today is because I don't have multi-model capabilities on ChatGPT yet. So I haven't been able to try it. So while everyone's out there talking about this and taking pictures of that, I was just working on my boring old funnel, trying to make money, you know, trying to win the game of life. Okay, I think we're done for the day, my friends. Hope you are grinding. Get on it. Time is limited. Move, move, move. I think we're about 50 days away from the next Full Stack Marketer Lab. Did you know you can take a no obligation call with our team, see if it's right for you? We have great payment plans, guarantees, and bonuses that are not listed on the site. So I think that if you have felt that I've made an impact in your life, well, I promise you that spending 20 weeks with me and learning everything I've learned about the business mechanics and the skills, it's pretty useful. I've observed quite a few people that are pretty happy with what's happened. And the number one thing is future-proof remote capability. That's where we started. That's where we're going to end. That's what we want. That's the outcome we serve at richandniche.com. If you are becoming remote capable this year or next year and you want support and help, there's no other place to go than richandniche.com. Whether it's my training, the community, just the continued support, the tools, exclusive pricing we have on specific tools behind the scenes. I think it's all there for you. We've even gamified parts of the community, so you're always encouraged just to keep skilling up and leveling up and sharing your success and helping others. We have interactive events like Collective Consult. We're going to have many others where you'll be able to, in real time, practice your digital marketing skills with me. We have weekly simulations where you can give your thoughts as a strategic consultant on how to help a small business in a unique situation. And we even have a currency, an economy. We give you rewards for just being a part of the community and being a great person. So whether you have membership fees to pay for or you're trying to get to the lab and you want a credit, we help you with that as well. Like, we are priced extremely reasonably for what we're doing. And we're very kind to those who jump in. I mean, when you're a small business and you have people, you know, who want to invest in your business and learn from you and get what you have to offer at this stage, at that price point, it's pretty an honorable experience. Like, you're at the stage where you're getting something from me that I probably won't be able to do in 5 to 10 years for just likely out of growth. So I do want you to take advantage of it while you have the time. McChicken, yeah, that's a good one. Now they got the junior chicken, right? McDonald's was your first job. No wonder you're such a great guy, man. McDonald's trains great people. McDonald's teaches you systems, discipline, hard work, customer service, multiple products. Cool, man. Yeah, let's not waste too much time. Let's go get it. Let's hit our goals. Let's get on it. I did enough for you today. I shared enough. You understand what I can offer you. You don't have to do that. You can go on your own, skill up, turn it into a productized service, offer a big menu, get out there, close deals, be courageous, be adventurous. You got to have a story. And do you think you're going to look back and say, yeah, my story was doing nothing? My story was taking it the easiest route possible. Eventually you realize you're hungry for pain. You're hungry for challenge. You're hungry for life's greatest mountains to climb in your own version of your own ikigai, in your own experiences, your own upbringing. We all have mountains to climb. We all can do better. And that's what brings fulfillment, not taking the easy way out. So if you're scared of something, that's fine. But you now need to realize that that's exactly what you should be doing, is whatever you're scared of. Why are you even scared of it? That's the question you should ask, right? Are you scared of like being eaten by a hippopotamus? You could be, if you go see a hippopotamus. Why are you not scared of that? Because your brain's telling you, there's a wall here. There's something I want there, but maybe I should turn around. That's all that's happening. And you just have to say, no, I'm just going to break through the wall. I'm going to do whatever it takes to break through that wall. I'm never going to look back again. Or you can hit the wall, turn around, and go right back where you started. You can say, I'm not afraid of anything. That's not where you want to be. You want to say, oh, I'm so friggin' scared of doing this next thing, but I'm going to do it. No one did anything fearlessly. It's having the ability to go forward amidst the fear, amidst the uncertainty. And that's why skills are what we do, what we focus on, because skills are certain. A job is not certain. The economy is not certain. Your clients are not certain. Your family is not even certain. Only what's in with you, your skills, your intentions. And I keep looking over here when I should be looking over here. What a guy. God dang it. Which I should stop saying. I had a brand new laptop sitting on my desk right over there, taunting me for days. A brand new titanium MacBook. My other one's starting to go. I need to get rid of it while I can still trade it in. But when you're on your grind, you don't care about equipment. It's not what makes the money. It's not the laptop that makes the money. It's not the laptop that creates the skills. Do not trick yourself now. Okay, Rich told me to get some skills. Which laptop do I need? How do I set up my YouTube studio? Like, I detest my YouTube studio right now. There's a reason why it looks this dumb. It's because my family has 2 kids and we never thought we were going to have 2 kids and our house is not big enough and I'm working in a very small space. Which I love that's my sacrifice for right now. Would I love to be in a Grant Cardone studio or a Gary Vee office with all this junk behind me? Should I go spend $10,000 just to have a fancy background, some neon lights? Or should I just get my ass here and help people by telling the honest truth, taking my time, and for those who only need gimmicks and tactics and short-term dopamine, send them away with the long-form content. And those that are willing to sit, listen, and study, the long form is what you need. But we want to be careful we don't go too long. You've been sitting here for a while. But like I said, it's not about the equipment. It's not about anything except gaining skills and proving you have them. And you prove you have them by making stuff. Right? If you had woodworking skills, you would prove it by making some furniture. If you had cooking skills, you'd prove it by making some special dishes. Well, when you have digital marketing skills, you prove it with web pages, content, and copywriting, which can be combined with content to form an ad or a funnel, which you also need to know a bit about web pages. You go to my website right now, richaniche.com. I'm going to do a new one soon, but if you go to the top right corner where it says resources and you get my free crash course, I tell you the 12 things you should be thinking about, and your skills should be really based on those things. Because as someone who's built a business and worked with other businesses, I can see that when the businesses have these 12 things, they're doing a lot better than the people who don't. And in my own experience, that's the case as well. So as a marketer, you want to make sure you understand, like, what are the common things that businesses are missing? I'm going to go skill up on that and make sure I have a market to serve. Here I am over here. Here I am. Have a great day, everyone. Go get them. May the algorithms be ever in your favor. And I'm just going to sit here because I have to wait for the delay to catch up. So if I turn off the stream, you'll still hear me say,